Dr. Pohlmeier, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your career path, your family, and how long you've been at York Medical Clinic?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. I grew up on a farm, on my dad's family farm, just outside of Lawrence, Nebraska, and that is a life that I look back on very fondly, that I enjoy growing up in. I've been in Nebraska my entire life. I love the state of Nebraska, and I'm glad to be here at York Medical Clinic doing what I'm doing. So I personally, I think the most important thing that I can relate about myself is that I'm a sinner who's been saved by the sovereign grace of God, and I am grateful to be able to share Him with any of those that I interact with.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to pursue a career in medicine?
Yes, thank you. Ultimately, I know that it was God's will for me to be doing this. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be here. Thinking back on the steps that led me here, I had teachers and guidance counselors in high school who encouraged me to do job shadowing and to apply for the Rural Health Opportunities program, which I went through at Wayne State College and then at UNMC in Omaha.
What are your biggest challenges that you face in practicing medicine today?
Yeah, there are so many. I mean, it's a long list, truthfully. But one of them that I would spend some time touching on today is that we live in a culture and a society that teaches that truth is a fluid concept and that there is not one definition of truth. And when we think about young adults and teenagers and kids in this society who are exposed to so much of the just dangerous themes related to sexuality and violence and self-harm that exists. Those are things that are, of course, they're a burden on our hearts. It breaks our hearts when we see how social media and the media influence and impress those themes upon kids these days. And of course, we all want to do something about that. We all want to exert an influence to do that. And one influence that I like to speak about is that we have one truth, and that truth is found in the Bible. When we are looking for truth in this day and age, that is the place where we are to go to, and that's a big part of what I talk with teenagers and younger kids about at their visits, is how important it is to know what is true and what is not true, what are good influences in our lives and what are negative influences in our lives.
What do you find most rewarding about your daily work?
Thanks. I'd like to reference a couple scripture passages to answer that, if I could, today. One that I really like is in Ecclesiastes 5, and we can find it in verses 18 through 20. And to quote verse 18, I have, "Here it is what I have seen to be good and fitting, to eat and drink and to enjoy oneself and all one's labor, in which he toils under the sun during the few years of his life which God has given him, for this is his reward." So I really appreciate that we know that God has given us this work. He's given me this work as my reward here. In verse 19, he goes on to say that we are to receive this reward and rejoice in his labor, and that this is a gift from God. And then in verse 20, he says that we will not often consider the years of our lives because God has kept us occupied with the gladness of heart. And so I find a lot of encouragement in that. And I also really enjoy and appreciate Colossians 3, 23 and 24 that tell us, "Whatever you do, do your work heartily as for the Lord rather than for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance. It is the Lord Christ whom you serve." So I take a lot of appreciation and encouragement, and that is what motivates me to do the work that I do every day.
What makes practicing in rural medicine special or unique?
The personal relationships are really what make it unique. I think about all of the interactions that I have had over the almost 10 years that I have been here, and there are so many special moments. It's hard to, there's no way I could list all of them, but a couple things that I really appreciate are that people make me artwork. They will make things for me that I know they have spent hours on because of the special relationship that we have as a doctor and a patient. And I get to put those things up in my offices and on my desk, and I get to enjoy them all the time. I had a patient just recently share a keepsake with me that says, doctors make the world a special place, a better place, and I am so touched by that. And so it is the personal relationships that really make this job quite special.
Anything else you'd like to share with our patients and viewers?
Yeah, I really enjoy any opportunity that I have to where I can discuss with somebody the intersection of our world, health matters, and our Christian lives. It took me a lot of humbling. I had to be humbled by God quite a bit before I could ever put those things together in the appropriate manner. And I continue to be humbled by Him, to know the significance of that God is sovereign, He is in control, nothing is outside of His will. And that is what really that's the truth that puts all this together. That's what makes it so meaningful. It doesn't mean that I have an answer for every single thing, but it does help me discuss serious matters with people in a way that has importance here in this life and has eternal meaning as well.